Your nervous system can give you information, but it should never be given command. Because the moment every uncomfortable feeling becomes a warning, every difficult conversation becomes unsafe. Every uncertain decision becomes dysregulating. Every challenge becomes a threat. And eventually healing becomes the language you use to explain why you never move. Today we need to separate genuine danger from the discomfort that comes with becoming someone new. Because your discomfort is not always telling you to stop, no. Sometimes it's telling you that the version of you who survived this far can no longer lead you any further.
Most people aren't actually afraid of growth. They're afraid of the pain they think is coming. Everyone says that growth happens outside of our comfort zone. But what no one explains is the difference between harm and discomfort. If you end up treating every uncomfortable emotion as if it's danger, then you will quit everything that could change your life. Discomfort does feel awkward. It does feel unfamiliar, and it feels like a challenge. But pain removes safety, it removes choice, and it removes your dignity. If it's stretching you and not shrinking you, it's probably discomfort. Stick with it and let's see what happens.
That distinction changes everything, because pain and discomfort are not the same thing. Harm removes your agency. It takes away your dignity, your choice, or your ability to remain whole. But discomfort is often what you feel when your current identity is being asked to expand. You see, the problem is that many people have been taught to treat every uncomfortable internal reaction as sacred guidance. I feel anxious, so this must be wrong. I feel resistance, so this must not be aligned. My body does not feel safe, so I should not continue. But your body can react to unfamiliarity the same way it reacts to danger. Not because the situation is necessarily destroying you, no, but because your current identity does not yet know how to exist inside it. You do not have to obey every sensation you experience. You can listen without surrendering command. That is self-governance. The ability to fear without making fear the decision maker. The ability to feel resistance without automatically retreating. The ability to remain present long enough to discover whether something is harming you or simply asking more of you. Your discomfort is not always a warning. Sometimes it is the sound of your old identity losing authority.
If you ever find yourself in stagnant seasons in your life and you feel like you're not growing, this video is for you. The inability to sit in discomfort causes stagnation. People think lack of talent, laziness, and all that jazz causes stagnation. No, it's when you're in the thick of things and that knee-jerk reaction to pull back. When you place your hand on the stove, it's hot, right? You pull it back, and you do that. The longer you're able to sit in discomfort without the need of escaping negatively, awareness and adaptability, that is the secret sauce to getting out of any stagnant period in your life.
Most stagnation is not caused by a lack of talent, no. It's not always laziness. And it's not always because the opportunity never arrived. Sometimes stagnation is the result of repeatedly abandoning the process at the exact moment discomfort appears. You begin something that becomes difficult. You question yourself. Then you pull away. You enter a relationship. A difficult conversation appears. Then you disappear. You establish a boundary. Someone reacts badly. Then you immediately explain, soften, or withdraw it. Over time, this creates a pattern. Your life can only grow as far as your willingness to remain present when escape becomes tempting. But remaining present does not mean passively suffering. It means observing. What am I feeling? What is this discomfort asking me to confront? Is this situation violating me? Or is it exposing a weakness in me that I now have the opportunity to strengthen? The hermit does not remain in every uncomfortable room, but neither does he run simply because the room is uncomfortable. The hermit watches, determines what is true, then He moves deliberately, not from panic, not from impulse, not from the need to make the feeling disappear. No. Stagnation begins when escape becomes your automatic response to discomfort. Growth begins when you can remain present long enough to choose consciously.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I don't feel like I hear enough people talking about the fact that it is okay to be afraid of your dreams, and not in the cheesy dream so big that it scares you kind of way, in the you put in the work, you put in the time, you put in the effort, and now it's right here face to face with you. And you're like, oh shoot, okay, now I have to show up. Now I have to continue. Now I have to give this thing my full attention and actually see my manifestations materialize. And the only thing between me and that thing is still me. That's okay. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only person who feels this way, but as someone who's put in a ton of work and who's seen most of their vision board come true for 2025, the one thing I never heard anyone say is that it's okay to be afraid as long as you lean in and you keep going. If you keep going and you make that dream manifest, you build the self-trust necessary for you to continue on building new and better and scarier and bigger things. Because you don't get from A to D, you gotta go to B to C, and then you get to D. So if you want something so big and so audacious, setting those smaller goals and then seeing them materialize is just step one. And that fear, that's okay. It's healthy. It's normal. And actually it means you're right there. Pushing through to the other side is how you get what you want. So in case nobody told you today, it's okay to be afraid of your dreams as long as you lean into them.
People assume fear arrives only when something bad is approaching. But fear also appears when the thing you ask for finally arrives. Because a dream is comfortable while it remains imaginary. See, at that point, you can describe it. You can visualize it. You can plan for it. You can tell people that one day it will happen. But when the opportunity becomes real, imagination is replaced by responsibility. Now, you have to show up. Now, your work can be judged. Now, people can see you. Now, you can no longer blame the absence of opportunity for the life you have not built. Some people do not fear failure as much as they fear the end of their excuses. Because receiving what you want may require you to release the identity that learned how to survive without it. You may become comfortable being overlooked, comfortable being underestimated, comfortable preparing, comfortable waiting. Then the door, click, opens. And suddenly you are no longer the person waiting for permission. You are the person responsible for walking through that door. That fear does not automatically mean that you're, let's say, unprepared. It may mean the future you imagined is no longer an idea. It is now demanding your participation. You may not be afraid that the dream will even fail. You may be afraid that it will work, and the smaller version of you will have nowhere left to hide.
This is nature's Xanax. Let's do it together. We're going to do 10 nose inhales, and then we're going to do 10 hums together. And then you're going to feel like amazing. So let's go.
Breathing can help. Humming can help. Walking, meditation, silence, slowing down can change your immediate state. But that's not the problem. The problem begins when temporary relief is mistaken for transformation. You can regulate your breathing and still refuse to make the decision. You can calm your body and still remain in the relationship you know is destroying you. You can perform the ritual every morning and still spend the rest of your day betraying your own boundaries. A technique can alter your state, but a technique cannot automatically correct the structure of your life. Sometimes you are not anxious because you forgot how to breathe. Sometimes you are anxious because you keep saying yes when you mean no. Because you keep avoiding a necessary conversation, because you refuse to accept what someone has repeatedly shown you. Because your life is divided between what you know and what you're willing to act upon. Regulation should help you face reality more clearly. It should not become a method of making unacceptable reality easier to tolerate. Calm is useful, but But calm without clarity can become sedation, and peace without self-respect is often only avoidance made comfortable. Do not use healing practices to become more comfortable inside a life that requires your honesty. Calm yourself, then comfort what the calm was supposed to help you face.
I've shifted my relationship with the word no. When someone's like, what about no? The first time, I'm not over explaining. I'm not babying. I'm not hand holding. Contrary to what y'all believe, I don't have the same hours in a day as Beyonce. Actually, I'm still trying to get the Beyonce money. Time is money. Okay. You're asking me too many questions. I said no. Go away now. And like, I don't feel as guilty about it no more. This is like the antithesis of how women are brought up to behave, but I don't be feeling bad. People who can't accept no, credit or coded. Sit with that. It is. Absolutely. Especially because a lot of people struggle with hearing the word no when it comes from a woman. Don't bean soup. This doesn't apply to every single scenario, obviously. But in order for me to get things done efficiently, not stress myself out unnecessarily, I've just learned declining something requires me to just give a simple, professional, polite no and keeping it pushing.
So this is what regulation looks like in real life. Not always humming, not always tapping, not always trying to return yourself to a permanently peaceful state. Sometimes regulation is saying no. No, and surviving the silence that follows. It is allowing someone to be disappointed without rushing to rescue them from their disappointment. It's being misunderstood without immediately producing a courtroom defense of your character. It is feeling guilt after establishing a boundary without assuming the guilt means the boundary was wrong. Many people do not struggle to create boundaries. Folks struggle to tolerate the emotional consequences of having them. The other person becomes cold. They accuse you of changing. They say to you, you're selfish. And because their reaction activates discomfort inside you, you begin negotiating against yourself. You begin explaining. You overclarify. You soften the no until it becomes another yes. But a boundary that only survives when everyone approves of it, it's not a boundary. It's a request for permission. Real regulation is the ability to remain steady while another person experiences a feeling you are not responsible for fixing. It is not cruelty. It is not indifference. It is the recognition that compassion does not require self-abandonment. Sometimes the most regulated thing you can do is simply say no. Remain silent and allow another adult to process their own reaction. The purpose of healing is not to build a life in which nothing activates you. Because that life doesn't exist. It just doesn't. The purpose is to become someone who can remain conscious while activation moves through them. Someone who can feel fear without worshiping it. Someone who can experience discomfort without immediately naming it danger. Someone who can use calming practices without using them to avoid necessary action. Someone who can say no without writing an essay. Someone who can enter uncertainty without demanding a guarantee. Your nervous system deserves care, yes, but it was never meant to become your ruler. Listen to your body. Respect genuine danger. Leave situations that remove your dignity, that remove your agency, that remove your choice. But do not confuse every trembling hand, every racing thought, or unfamiliar feeling with proof that you're on the wrong path. Sometimes your system is not warning you that the door is dangerous. Sometimes it's reacting because you have never walked through a door like this before. The hermit does not seek permanent comfort. The hermit seeks inner authority to remain governed wherever he stands. Because the goal is not to feel safe before you move. The goal is to stop allowing every uncomfortable sensation to make your decisions. Discomfort is not always danger. Sometimes discomfort is the threshold, and the life you keep asking for is waiting on the other side of your willingness to cross it.